I have a selection of precinct numbers, local ones, that are open as of now. This is not an exhaustive list. Harris County now has, I believe, 877 voting precincts. Astronomical. There are over 400 with no chairman. Now, some of those are demographic black holes, or they're just swamplands. There are actually precincts with probably no voters, or just a handful of voters. And there are precincts like mine with over 3,000. There are probably some that approach 4,000. Now, I can't know every voter in my precinct. I don't have enough money to send them all a postcard. But I talk with my neighbors, and they talk with their neighbors. And maybe little by little, we can network this thing. And no denigration to anybody who's involved in multi-level marketing. But we can network this thing. In our area, precinct 98, which is over toward Huffman, is vacant. Precinct 351 at Atascocita is vacant. 357, part of Elm Grove and all of Mills Branch is vacant. 469, Steve, you're thinking about filing on 469, so I may be taking that off the list. 502, which I think is down in Crosby, vacant. 590, Bear Branch. Bill moved, that precinct went vacant. It's been vacant for several years. 598, the east end of Humboldt, although I did see, I think 2 folks have filed for chairman in that one. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe they live across the street from each other and have a neighbor dispute.
Maybe they're both in parties.
And number 700, which is also in the Huffman-Crosby area, are vacant. These are just a selection of local precincts that have no leadership.
But I thought you said you have to live in that precinct.
You do have to live in the precinct.
Okay, so
To be-
somebody across.
Somebody who lives in Bear Branch.
But,
That they're here tonight.
you know, I don't know where everybody here is from, so I throw out these numbers, and some of you folks, even though you may not be running for chairman, maybe you know somebody in these neighborhoods who would do a good job. Bobby?
Hudson, for example, we have, and I've seen it over there in Humboldt, you got City of Houston, Humboldt, City of Houston, Humboldt, and Humboldt in the county. Is that why you've got the 2 different precincts?
No, some precincts have jurisdictional lines that actually go across the precinct lines. So these numbers are not designed to be, say, in the city or in the county. They could have some portion of both.
It's just wherever they do the line.
It's wherever they do the line. And in some of these split precincts, on election day, it's literally split to the address of the voter as to what ballot they're going to see, whether they're going to see a city ballot or just a county ballot. That's how technical the gerrymandering gets. But no.
Do you happen to know if 98 is the city one or is that the county one?
I can't say where that line goes, but if I had to make a bet, Bobby, it's probably mostly in the county. Robin?
I was just going to ask, does everyone know what their precinct is? On our website, on the right-hand side of the page when you're looking at it, there's a place where I have it, it links to the,
I think you go to the Harris County Voter Registrar website,
Right.
which the Harris County, either the Elections Department or the Tax Assessor Collector, or both, have links to your precinct maps.
but our Tea Party thing.
And if you go to the Tea Party page will take you to one of those. I'm sorry, I get confused. We have, with the Tea Party, Robin has set up and maintains the KWTParty.com page, and she puts up the news items and all these mostly useful links.
Well,
We wish more folks would comment on the page. I have set up a meetup page some months ago as another avenue to attract folks to the group and get them to attend events. And there is also a Facebook page for the Kingwood Tea Party Society. So please, whatever is your preference, take a look at them once in a while. Now, Robin doesn't blast out giant email things every day. I think she does that on a timely basis for event reminders. So sign up on some of these pages, make sure we get your email. We'll keep you posted. And if you've got a situation you need our help, you know, post an appeal and say, hey, we need some bodies over here to, whether it's to, you know, sweep Gene Green down the street or do something, we'll show up. No problem.
I was at the State of Liberty conference on Saturday over at, by the gallery at Doubletree, and there was a guy there I was talking to, I know him, a friend of mine, he's in the Houston Tea Party Society, and he said he went as a stealth guy to a Democratic executive or whatever meeting, and we've got about 50, the Republican Party has about 50% of the precincts are empty or don't have a guy in charge. Theirs is only about 20%. And they stress that their big goal right now is to get the county judge seat. That's what, they're putting everything behind that slot, to get that county judge.
If they get the county judge seat, which is currently Ed Emmett, that gives the Democrats the majority on Commissioner's Court.
Right.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That would be a big effort.
And they're so upset that they don't have that because, you know, the county went to Obama and so on and so forth.
But they couldn't get the judge.
They could get the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're really gonna go for it.
Which-
They're full court press.
I'm going to digress. I'm going to digress for just a moment, and then I'll get back. What I want to do is wrap up my comments
Yeah.
with some of the actual role of the precinct chairman. But with the elections coming up, with the primary season, we've got another potential situation on Commissioner's Court. Jerry Eversole is the long-term Precinct 4 Commissioner. This is Precinct 4, folks. Jerry Eversole was slapped with one of the biggest, if not the biggest, ethics violation fine in state history a year and a half ago. I don't recall the exact timing. So far, no one has stepped up to challenge him on the Republican side in the primary. Now, whatever your feelings about Mr. Eversole, whether he's your best buddy or you don't particularly like him, if there are ongoing investigations on Mr. Eversole, and if Mr. Eversole clears the primary, which with no opposition he will, or no opposition to date,
That's right.
wouldn't you expect an indictment to drop about next September to take him out?
Absolutely.
You can get on the ballot for 500 valid signatures without paying the $1,300 filing fee. Anybody feel lucky? Let the record show nobody feels lucky. Bobby.
With the two different precincts, can they have the meeting at the same time if you've got two different precinct chairs?
If they're voting in the same place,
Yeah, like Huffman's got the two different districts, but can they have the meeting at the same place without causing a problem?
well, according to the election code, they probably shouldn't. Unless the location kind of sits right on the borderline between the two, then each could claim they were meeting within the geographical boundaries of their precinct. Actually, the actual precinct convention should be within the geographic boundaries of that precinct. So if you run into a case where precincts are combined, where you've got 2 or 3 or 4 voting in the same location, obviously they're not all within their boundaries.
Right.
The ideal situation is that a person from each of those precincts carries that convention to a location in their precinct. That's the ideal solution. I have not seen any rulings as to whether being outside that line would negate your precinct. I'll just say I've not seen any rulings on that, so I'll shut up right there. I'm not a lawyer. Richard?
Yeah, just a little question. You pointed out before, and I was aware of this, that some of these precincts are like in a swamp. You know, there's hardly anybody there. Why doesn't the county get rid of some of that stuff and just combine these little things? So it's just like a congressman. You've got, what, 600 and some thousand people in the congressional district.
Yep.
Just set a population thing for a little district.
Ideally, precincts would be more equalized.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's no incentive to fix some of these obvious oddities. I was chatting with a lady in Pasadena the other day who was thinking of filing for chairman for her precinct. I looked up her precinct; it had fewer than 600 voters.
Yeah.
And I look at mine, and I've got about 3,300, 3,400.